Hello everyone, my name's Ian. Welcome back to my hobby YouTube channel, In Brief Book and Film Reviews. So today I have a really good book that I'd like to review. I'm going to try and keep it as briefly as possible for you guys and that. But I really wanted to come online and give a review to this excellent book and that. This book is called The Dark Art. And this book is written by Ed Follis and Douglas Sentry. Ed Follis is a former undercover DEA agent, and he talks about his life and his times fighting global narcotics and terrorism. And it's an excellent book. This book is 252 pages long, and it was released on the 7th of October 2014. And yeah, so the book itself, really excellent read. You don't want to put this down from start to finish. It's one of those ones. It's only 252 pages long, so it's you know, it's not a short book, but it's not an overly long book also. It doesn't get drawn out. Ed cuts to the chase on talking about global narcotics from places like Mexico to Thailand to Afghanistan and Pakistan and places like that, you know, where he goes all over these places as a DEA agent fighting drug warlords and that, you know, and even like the Shan United Army in Thailand. So from start to finish, I have to say, excellent book in that. Ed starts off talking about his life, you know, growing up kind of thing. Not so he doesn't really emphasize too much on that, but just how he got into the becoming a DEA agent and stuff, and that his starting off his career and stuff, and that, and how he was kind of went down that line. You know, he talks about how some people that go into the law enforcement are kind of suited for certain criteria within the police department and certain jurisdictions and stuff and that. So he really went into it, and he wanted to fight global narcotics from a very young age and stuff, and he went into it, and he was surrounded by some really good people. He talks about certain officers and stuff, and that certain people had a really good positive impact on his upbringing, not just as a kid but also as a young agent and stuff. Really excellent. He starts off really going in talking about the Mexican cartels, Juarez, places like that, and you know, without going too much into it, spoiling it for the reader, and that it really is a fantastic book. I think that you can actually get this on Google Books, or you can buy it on paperback like I did. It really is. It's not that expensive at all. Yeah, so he talks about going into Mexico and stuff, places like that. He gives details about certain people, how he actually bumped into El Chapo, who is now, I think he's locked up in federal prison at the moment, and that having escaped previously. And he gives graphic detail into the brutality of the cartels, and that what they'll do to informants or undercover cops if they find out. Nothing that many people haven't seen on TV or watched from films or read from books in regards to other kingpins, drug warlords, kingpins such as the guy over in Colombia. I can't think of his name now, but yeah, I'm sure you know who I'm on about. I can't think of what his name is now. It'll come to me. As soon as I turn this off, it'll come to me. Yeah, and then he talks about being then shipped over to Thailand to do a detail over there, and to fight the Shan Army. I'm gonna leave descriptions also as well about like the Shan Army and stuff, so you can have a look. And when you read the book, one of the things I really like about these books is you can actually learn more from the books, actually, from what done sometimes the story themselves, and that what the information he's giving you. So if you didn't know about the Shan United Army in Thailand, well, Ed would have explained it in detail about them, and then you can go on Google and you can YouTube, and then you can look up, and they give documentaries to who was the leader of the Shan United Army and stuff. Mexican cartels. And then he goes over to Afghanistan. He talks about the opium production over there, the heroin production, and how like the Taliban kind of run and organize and fund the global terrorism on the funds of you know, the heroin sales and stuff and that. And it really is a really excellent book. To be honest with you, I don't actually think he went into too much detail, but obviously for various reasons, and that, such as classified information, etc., etc. But it'll give you, it's one of those ones that's it's an appetizer. If you really want to really want to learn more about it, he'll give you the appetizer and that to really go into it yourself and have a look. And that really is, it's got some good photos in there as well, bushfires, about how they burn the stuff after they find concealments. Really is a really good book, and I'm really happy that I purchased this book. I'm always looking for certain books like this and that, just one-off guys who explains how he's a bit of a kind of a lonesome dove, and that, a little bit of a maverick, and that he likes to do his own thing, and that he talks about his time as an undercover as well. Certain relationships were strangled because of his commitment to his job. He talks about developing cancer as well and stuff like that, and then actually helping a global narcotics dealer to overcome and try and fight his cancer, also in return for like information. It's really kind of like in elements in this book, you'll see how sleazy the trade of drug dealing is, and that when he talks about the size and the money that it generates globally in certain countries and stuff, and that, and how it can basically fund economies, but instead of funding economies, these drug barons and drug dealers use it for their own personal gain and stuff and that. And there's a certain character in there called HJK he talks about, and like he just gives a depiction of like what the perfect example of what like a drug dealer is all about, his mentality and stuff and that. And I'm not talking about a petty drug dealer that sells a bit of marijuana or a bit of hash on the weekend and that, or a bit of cocaine or whatever. I'm talking about like these are big boys and that making millions upon millions and that of money and that, and income and that. So it's just, I don't want to go into it too much because you really enjoy this book. So if you're interested in getting a book, I would definitely recommend this, The Dark Art. There's a couple of different covers to this book and that, So yeah, I'd recommend this book. Excellent book, 5-star all the way. Fair play to Ed and Douglas Century, who both wrote this book. And yeah, the publishers are Scribe, also Scribe. And yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Come online and try and keep it brief. So I hope everyone's doing very well, staying blessed, and beautiful day today again. So yeah, hope all is well for everyone on that. Okay, take care. I'll be back next week with another film review. Until then, be safe.